Hi, I'm Rob. What I'm about to show you with this cat's video is that he's not the first cat to figure this out with the magnet thing. There's a few before him, but as far as him being knowledgeable and educating you on magnetic fields and what magnets do and how they work and making you understand, and really pay attention to what he says about his eye and how it affects his eye, because I can attest for this dude's experience with what he's going through right here firsthand, because when my brother and I were refurbishing an old house, we found one of these things, and let me tell you something. This neodymium magnets, man, it actually does make you feel like, and when you're close to it and even, handling it, it's a weird ass feeling, man. And anyway, the people that were living in this house said that their cell phone never worked in there. Well, I wonder why. Right? Well, pay attention to this. It's good information.
Hello, I wanted to show you something neat. It's only been speculative up until now, but thanks to
that's not true.
My research,
but he knows his shit.
The light bending capacity of the ferrocell, I now am able to determine. Now, the only birds that can actually see blue light are owls, but nevertheless, most birds can actually see into the ultraviolet spectrum. So what, as I proved with the seed experiments before,
somebody did that in the 80s, remember.
Let me lay this down. This thing is just insanely dangerous. I don't actually like to get my face over top of it because it hurts my eyeballs after a while.
It does. It really hurts you.
Up. Really, I shouldn't have.
Makes you goofy too.
Camera this close to this little unit right now. It's a huge, powerful neodymium iron boron magnet. It's just enormous. Actually, we've got a lot of course we have a lot of blood, iron in our blood. You can actually drag your wrist over the centrifugal divergent edge of the magnet and actually feel the field. And I'm not talking about new age crystal rubbing nonsense. You can actually feel it. We have a lot more receptors in our nose. However, I wouldn't want to bring a magnet this large to my nose.
Yeah, because there's a magnetic field all around him right now with that thing, man.
Boron. It's an $800 magnet. Anyway, the point is that humans have chromatomes in their eye. They're magnetoreceptors.
Think sunspots.
Parts of a human eyeball, just like birds have. And I'm going to scoot away from it.
The umbra in your eyeball.
Start to feel it. Most people never play around with magnets. They
don't, man. It makes you nuts. That thing's strong as hell. That thing right there is insane.
Field that's
strong
around this magnet, and it actually hurts my eyes after a short period of time when I experiment over it. But the point is that the way birds navigate, since the Earth's magnetic North Pole is actually in Antarctica, our geographic North Pole is where our Earth's magnetic South Pole is. That's why a compass needle points north.
He's right.
The actual North Pole. You can Google this if you want. I mean, it's an obvious
Don't Google it. Look it up on a better internet.
What you can actually see in the ferrocell.
Read a journal or two.
This was actually the last, not regarding the birds, but the last secret that I finally unraveled, is that, as is the case, if you use a Gauss meter on a magnet, you'll notice that there is a singular strong high Gauss flux reading.
I've known about a Gauss meter since the 10th grade, so this guy claims too much shit and it bothers me, but he's smart as hell.
At the very center, it's the centripetal point of return, and then there's an intermediate zone, and there's an extremely high Gauss reading on the centrifugal edge on both sides. But the Gauss reading, if the magnet is made correctly, is identical on centrifugal on both sides and centripetal on both sides. So whence, therefore, is the phase shift. You can actually see the phase shift using light that is bent a la the Faraday effect by looking at the magnet underneath the ferrocell. It is rarefied on the North Pole of the magnet and is compressed on the south. This actually affects, say, the molecular nature of hydrous oxide, i.e. water, which affects plant growth. But it's a lot more complicated than that, and I can't get into that because I haven't.
It's not that complicated, dude. Use simpler words, bro.
I like to get my face as close to the magnet.
He's right. That thing fucks you up. Screws you up.
this ginormous mag. You can feel it in your face, trust me.
You can.
It actually gives you a natural high, and it'll actually keep you awake for a couple days without caffeine. But
I don't know about all that shit, but
there's no after effects, but it actually gives you a dull, throbbing pain in your eyes. But the point is that how birds navigate, since they're actually able to see further into the ultraviolet spectrum of
in other words, guys, you can go to and watch the rest of this video. He does some cool experiments with the seeds and how plants grow, and actually, I'm gonna try this experiment with my brother when we build our greenhouse for this grand solar minimum. We're probably experiencing it, look into it for yourself. But anyway, if you want to know about the magnetic field, and about what dihold and suspicious observers and magnetic reversal news and all these other great professors that are and guys, people and ladies and dudes are telling everyone about magnetic pole flips, man. And right there, they're telling you how it works. But this guy knows his shit, but I wish he would, not claim everything because it's not true. It bothers me.